Every prison, no matter how carefully designed, has at least one way out. The trick is knowing how to get to it, and while numerous escapes over the years prove so, some are daringly satisfying to be caught on camera. Experts believe that the first and most important step to breaking out of prison is by sitting and relaxing and thinking every day for at least 14 days to click into the right frame of mind. Regardless of how you choose to, many prison escapes have come from sheer observation and inmates simply going for it at the right time. These are some of the most insane prison breaks caught on camera. Copenhagen, Denmark, 1995. 12 prisoners escaped from a Copenhagen jail after a bulldozer smashed through a fortified prison wall. The caterpillar broke a huge hole in the 26-foot wall that separated the prisoners' yard and the main road from Frederikslushil State Prison to the Copenhagen suburb of Albertslund. It was not immediately known whether the bulldozer was manned when it hit the wall or if anyone was injured, but captured footage revealed the bulldozer smashing into the wall and the prisoners rushing out amid clouds of grey dust. The footage was shot by a cameraman whom the police detained as a suspect of having prior knowledge of the event. Police believe the prison escape was possibly timed to coincide with a soccer match at a nearby stadium, attended by fans known to be violent. 3 escapees were later arrested, and others, including convicted murderers and drug dealers, reportedly remained at large. Richard Lee McNair, 1987. In 1987, Richard Lee McNair was sentenced to a life term in prison after murdering a guard during an attempted robbery of all places, a grain elevator. Between 1988 and 2006, McNair would escape from prison 3 times. While his first 2 escapes were pretty conventional, McNair's last escape was simple, brilliant, and a little insane. After being transferred to a Louisiana prison, he got a job assignment repairing broken canvas mail bags. In short order, he hid in a pile of mail bags, which was later shrink-wrapped, placed on a pallet and shipped to an unguarded warehouse. While running away down a highway, carrying no identification and wearing prison clothes, McNair was stopped and questioned by Officer Carl Bordelin. What should have been a career highlight for Bordelin turned into YouTube gold, as his dashboard camera recorded McNair spending 10 minutes talking his way out of what should have been the easiest recapture in prison escape history. At one point in the video, Officer Bordelin even mentioned that he was looking for an escaped convict before letting him go. McNair's luck did not hold out because he was recaptured and has probably been workshopping his next escape ever since. Mike Maldonado. The inmate who was just being transported to the Potter County Jail took a run for it when the officers who brought him in let him be in the vehicle. In the garage, Michael Maldonado's escape was caught on camera, showing the inmate jumping into the driver's seat of a squad car and opening the door as the officers had gone to secure their weapons. The video shows Maldonado running out of the building just before the garage door closed, which gave him ample time to escape his pursuers and get to safety. Outside the jail, he was spotted sprinting across the property barefoot and in handcuffs, and it was later revealed that Maldonado stole a car from a nearby business, which he later ditched. He was found afterwards in Burns Harbor, about 20 miles away from the jail. Pascal Payette helicopter escape. When most people think about living out their golden years in the south of France, the maximum security prison in Grasse is probably not the destination that first comes to mind. Convicted murderer Pascal Payette, who was no stranger to prison escapes, was serving a life sentence when he decided that prison no longer held any appeal for him. Again, Payette may have made some poor life choices that resulted in him serving a life term, but it turns out he did make some excellent decisions when it came to choosing friends. One Saturday night in 2007, the prison guards at Grasse were genuinely bewildered to see a helicopter landing on the roof of the maximum security wing of their prison. Suspiciously, the helicopter landed on one part of the roof without a clear line of sight from the guard towers. 4 masked men got out of the helicopter and used heavy equipment to cut their way through the 2 heavy metal doors between them and Payette. Within 5 minutes of the helicopter landing, Payette and his crew escaped into the night. This was the second time that Payette escaped from prison using a helicopter. What is surprising was the Seinfeld-esque breakdown in communication prior to the escape. Not a single person thought it was important to let the prison guards who were holding a convict who had a penchant for helicopter escapes know that a helicopter in the area was stolen. Derek Estelle. An Arkansas man was caught on video slipping through the window of the Garland County Jail and fleeing from a guard through the parking lot in 2013. He was later sentenced to another 40 years in prison as part of a plea deal. The 36-year-old Derek Estelle pleaded guilty to second-degree escape and received an enhanced sentence for 4 felony convictions dating back to 2000, according to a copy of his plea agreement. He was filmed escaping from jail by climbing through a window and running past police. Estelle leaped through a service window while police were busy talking to an alleged accomplice. He was being watched over from a service window by 2 police officers while talking on the phone provided for the use of inmates. When the 2 deputies were distracted by William Harding, an alleged accomplice, Estelle suddenly jumped and leapt through the window. He then ran out to the jail's door into the parking lot and into an alleyway where he climbed into a waiting car. Officers tried to stop the car from pulling away but failed to do so. The car was found abandoned just a few minutes later, and there was no sign of either Estelle or his alleged getaway driver, Tamara Upshaw, who turned out to be his girlfriend. Officials believe that other people were involved in the escape plan and tracked down his parents as well. J. Russell. Conman Stephen J. Russell had an impressive criminal career. Using nothing more than a bogus resume and a smile, Russell talked his way into the position of chief financial officer for a large health insurance company where he redirected funds into his wallet. After a clerical error revealed his creative accounting, Russell found himself in the Harris County Jail, where he met the love of his life, Philip Morris, who at the time was due to be released soon. Russell was not the type of person to let prison separate him from the man of his dreams and would go on to escape from prison on 4 different occasions to be with Morris. To walk out of jail, reports carried that Russell made a guard's uniform for 1 successful escape, a doctor's uniform for another successful attempt, and once got a hold of a cell phone to convince a court clerk to lower his bail. Russell's last successful escape from a maximum security prison was as insane as it was brilliant. Russell used a crash diet and a supply of laxatives to simulate the rapid weight loss associated with full-blown case of AIDS at the time. Russell then arranged a transfer to a minimum security prison hospital, followed by a transfer to hospice care, where once again he walked out the front door. Not once did it occur to anyone to actually run tests on Russell to determine if he really had AIDS. While free, Russell sent a fake death certificate to a Texas courthouse, making him legally dead. Suspicious of the chain of events, police who already seemed familiar with Russell thought everything was a little too convenient and began tracking Morris. When Morris and Russell reunited in Florida, Russell was arrested, and his original sentence was extended to 144 years. Russell's story is so crazy that it had to be adapted into a film, I Love You, Philip Morris, and only an actor as graceful and dignified as Jim Carrey could do his story justice. Amber Gonzalez. A woman was captured on surveillance video slipping free of handcuffs and making a bold escape from a Wisconsin police station. Amber Gonzalez, who was 30 at the time, had been arrested at a Waukesha hotel for theft and placed in a holding cell where she was handcuffed to the wall. But the tiny Gonzalez, who weighs only 97 pounds, managed to wriggle her hand out of the cuffs, distracting with her phone, before making a run outside. Her freedom didn't last too long, however, as she was apprehended an hour later at the same hotel where she had originally been arrested. What prison escape strikes you as the most creative? Like and share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications.